Part 3. Public victory. Stephen's concept of public victory habits emphasizes the transition from true independence to true interdependence, emphasizing the importance of self-mastery and discipline in building successful relationships. He suggests that true self-respect comes from conquering oneself, and actions are based on one's inner core. In an interdependent world, open and positive interactions are the golden eggs of relationships, and to maintain these, we must create and take care of relationships that apply to the P/PC balance. Relationships are like emotional bank accounts, where we deposit trust into the other person. Showing courtesy, kindness, or honesty builds up a reserve, which can be used for mistakes or decisions. However, if we show discourtesy, disrespect, betrayal, or threats, our reserves will deplete and be overdrawn. Being patient is crucial in building and repairing relationships over time. Stephen outlines 6 major deposits for building an emotional bank account: understanding the individual, attention to the little things, breaking commitments, clarifying expectations, showing personal integrity, being loyal to those who aren't present, sincerity in apologizing when making withdrawals, and unconditional love. The P/PC balance helps us value problems as opportunities to create deeper relationships with others. Parents can choose to see problems as opportunities to create deeper relationships with their children. Realizing the necessity of the P/PC balance. Habit 4. Think win/win. Thinking win/win is a philosophy of human interaction that can be divided into 6 paradigms: win/win, win/lose, lose/win, win/win or no deal, and win/win or no deal. The win/win mindset seeks mutual benefit in interactions, focusing on the possibility of everyone winning. It is a cooperative approach, where success doesn't mean others' loss. The lose/win mindset, on the other hand, is a mindset where one person wins and the other loses. The win/win mindset is more effective in short-term situations, as it doesn't affect the long-term relationship or attitude of the parties involved. The win/win or no deal mindset allows for emotional freedom and allows parties to negotiate in good faith. Interpersonal leadership calls for the habit of thinking win/win, which requires self-awareness, conscience, imagination, and will. It involves mutual learning, influence, and benefits, and is essential for success in interactions. It begins with character, relationships, structure, and processes, and is nurtured through mutual learning and influence. Win/win emphasizes the importance of character and trust in relationships, requiring 3 key traits: integrity, maturity, and an abundance mentality. Trust is essential for building and maintaining win/win relationships, and agreements, such as partnership or performance agreements, are formed from these relationships. Win/win systems are essential for achieving agreements and maintaining a positive environment. To apply win/win, think of a future interaction, create a list of challenges, use a specific relationship, consider life scripting, and examine 3 important relationships. By thinking win-win with everyone in your life, balancing your needs with others, and reliving the first, second, and third habits, everyone can achieve mutually beneficial outcomes and maintain a positive attitude. Habit 5. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. The 5th habit of seeking first to understand, then to be understood is rooted in empathic communication principles. It is crucial in interpersonal relationships, as it requires a shift in our paradigm to understand others first. Communication involves reading, writing, speaking, and listening, with empathy being the highest level. Empathic listening involves listening through our ears, eyes, heart, and right brain, providing a therapeutic and healing effect. There are 4 developmental stages of empathic listening: mimicking content, rephrasing content, reflecting feelings, and rephrasing the content. Genuine intent to understand leads to pure knowledge and understanding, leading to openness and trust. By practicing this habit, we can build relationships, improve our emotional bank accounts, and appreciate others more. After finishing his part, Sean comes in to fill us in about this habit. Since there are so many questions raised on this habit, Sean would share his insights in QA format. 1. Should you use habit 5 all the time? No, empathic listening has its own time and place. A good rule of thumb is to use it when emotions are high or involved. It's used in critical, sensitive, or personal situations. 2. Why is this habit so hard? You're not alone. Stephen also admits that he struggled the most with this habit from all others. It's hard because we're not used to listening to this way. Oftentimes, when we think of ourselves as great listeners, we still listen through our own paradigm. Especially for people in leadership roles, people often resist authority. If you're in a leadership position, examine yourself in the next meeting. How many words spoken in the meeting came from your own mouth? 3. We increasingly rely on text and email to communicate. Does that change anything? Yes, it does. Sean saw this in his team all the time. One gets upset and sends a mail, and receives a novel as a reply. It went on until Sean was fed and told them to get on the phone and talk it through. Technology removed the intonation and facial expressions out of the equation, making it harder to empathize with. Thus, a great tip would be to not deal with important or emotional issues through email or text. At the very least, talk it out over the phone. 4. What if you can't get to a resolution through empathic listening? It's not a problem. A resolution isn't the actual goal of empathic listening. Sometimes, resolution and resolving problems isn't the best situation. Sometimes, it's just best to ignore things such as negative comments. Just let it fly out of the window. 5. Habit 4 to 6 seem to overlap. Is there any difference? They're different, but they still work together. They kind of work like the root, and fruit mnemonic. The 4th habit or think win/win is the root of effective relationships. The root is by practicing the 5th habit, seek first to understand, then be understood. Finally, the fruit we produce by practicing them is the 6th habit, synergy. 6. When I try empathic listening, the other end feels like I'm using a technique. Well, people can sense if there's ingenuity in there. You need good intent besides the skill. Usually, you're not yet ready or haven't developed the prerequisites to do empathic listening. For example, many habits are required as a character foundation before being ready for it. Habit 6. Synergize. Synergizing is the 6th habit of discipline and the ultimate goal of creative cooperation. It requires 4 unique endowments: win/win thinking, empathic communications, and principle-centered leadership. Synergy is the idea that the whole is greater than individual parts and requires a strong character with internal security. It works in classrooms, consulting, and business, where openness and authenticity lead to creativity and new solutions. There are 3 levels of communication: defensive, respectful, and win/win. To achieve interpersonal synergy, one must be vulnerable and open, equipping themselves with the abundance mentality for win/win thinking. The force field analysis, developed by sociologist Kurt Lewin, can help deal with negative forces that prohibit growth and change. Synergy is the essence of our nature and can create new solutions, as seen in Google founders Sergey Brin and Larry Page. Synergy is the ultimate habit, the end goal of all the previous habits. It's the ultimate reward of effective living. But, to have synergy, you must get there. Sean shared 5 simple steps for it. 1. Define the problem or opportunity. 2. Their way or understand their world. 3. Our way or seek to be understood. 4. Brainstorm or create options and ideas together. 5. Highway or determine the best solution.